coming up on the Empowered Woman podcast.
We realized at that time, you were like, now is the moment. We have to go all in and build what everyone is organically sharing they need and what we knew we needed and what everyone needed. So we're like, okay, we actually need to make a plan to do this. And we worked with a business coach, and Courtney and I talk about the importance of this all the time.
Welcome to the Empowered Woman podcast, the #1 show on visibility strategies for women entrepreneurs. If you want to get empowered to be seen, stand out on social media, stages, TV, and more to make an impact with your voice in business, you're in the right place. I'm so glad that you're here. My name is Marcia Spurk, and I'm your host, professional singer and visibility strategist. Welcome again, and let's dive into today's episode.
Hi, Stephanie. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thanks for having me, Marta.
Yay. I am so excited. We've been trying to do this for a few months now. Yay. So I like having guests that just introduce themselves. I could do an amazing job introducing you as well, because I feel like I've known you for so long now and being a part of the Entreprenista League community, but I'll let you go ahead and kick us off. So tell us who you are and what you do.
Wonderful. I'm Stephanie Cartin. I am the co-founder of Entreprenista. We are a media company and membership community, the Entreprenista League, where we serve women founders and leaders with all of the best resources, tools, community support, really everything you need to be able to grow and scale your business. I am a serial entreprenista, as I say. My business partner, Courtney, and I started our first business now over 15 years ago, if you can believe that, a social media agency back in the early days when social media was not what it is today. We just had the foresight to know when we grew and scaled and ultimately sold our agency business and have now created the Entreprenista to serve women founders and leaders, because we were just talking before we hit record. It is so hard to grow and scale a business. And really the only way to do it and have the resources and have fun is to actually have a community to support you. So my life's purpose is serving women founders. And separately, I'm also a mom to a 6.5-year-old baby girl, and she is my absolute everything. So Mama Pernista over here.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, I love that. I want to say, because not everybody that I interview, I'm super involved in their business and know what they're doing. But with you, it's a little bit different. And I want to talk about the community as well as, the beginnings of it and you having a business and transitioning into this. But I just want to say, because we hadn't had a chance to talk one-on-one specifically until right now, that I'm a part of several different groups, virtual and in person. That's just the way that I've done business. And I know that that's important, especially as a solopreneur, is connecting and making relationships. But one of my first mentors back in the day in 2019, I hired a PR person to help me, which was Lisa Simone Richards. And in knowing her personality and I've had her here in the show as well, she started sharing about Entreprenista. And she didn't really, she never struck me as somebody that would do that and saying sisterhood and the women. And I'm like, this is kind of weird. Like there's something to this because, knowing her for a while before that, she kept sharing about it. And I was like, I'm going to check this out. And that was that. Once I saw the value and what was all in, and after joining even more so, but I feel like you guys did such an amazing job in even presenting the value of the community before I joined. And it's been even more amazing afterwards. So I just wanted to let you know that that's how I came to be in the Entreprenista world, was because I saw somebody that I trusted singing the praises of the community. But
no,
anyway,
I'm so glad to hear that. And Lisa Simone is absolutely incredible. And it has been so beautiful to just watch her journey evolve. When she started in the community, she was, like you said, doing PR and then decided she wanted to launch a product-based business and got all of the connections and resources to be able to do just that inside the community. So I talk about this all the time. I cry happy tears every day just seeing what's happening. But that's what it's about. And so many of our members, the reason the community has grown so quickly is because our members are sharing just their authentic experience in the community and sharing that with other women. And they're like, oh, I need to be part of this too. And that's what it's all about. I mean, this is literally how Courtney and I grew. Our first business was through community. And we realized we were part of all of these different groups and organizations, and one for one thing, one for another thing. And we're like, there needs to be something that offers everything all under one platform. So we're like, we're the ones to create it. We're going to make it happen.
Yeah, that's so exciting. All right, so let's go there. What was the process of transitioning from the business that you ladies had into building this? Like, walk us through that.
Yeah. So as I mentioned, Courtney and I ran and owned a social media agency, Socialfly, for many years, over a decade. And what started to happen was because of the quick growth and success of Socialfly, so many women started reaching out to myself and Courtney literally every week, wanting to go out to coffee, wanting to pick our brain, just wanting to hear how we did it. And you know us, like we're the type of people that literally like to help absolutely everyone. But we realized it was physically impossible and not scalable to go out to coffee all day, every day and still run our agency business. So we started thinking, how can we actually help as many women entrepreneurs as possible, but do it at scale? Mm-hmm. So our first solve for this problem actually goes back to 2018. We're like, oh, we'll start a podcast like this so we could share incredible stories of women that are growing and scaling businesses. So when someone reaches out and says, I want to start a food business, we can say, go listen to this episode with Denise from Partake Foods, hear how she grew and scaled her business. So that was our initial solve. So we launched the podcast. We were pretty early in the podcasting space, if you will. The podcast starts to take off from that first episode. Now we're getting even more messages. And now a year later, the pandemic happens and we're getting even more messages. I lost my job. I want to start a business. Can you help? Or I need to pivot. Can you help? Now here, Courtney and I were at that time also in the middle of the pandemic, trying to figure out how to navigate our own agency at that point. But we realized at that time, you were like, now is the moment. We have to go all in and build what everyone is organically sharing they need and what we knew we needed and what everyone needed. So we're like, okay, we actually need to make a plan to do this. And we worked with a business coach, and Courtney and I talk about the importance of this all the time. Working with coaches, you said, of course, you've hired people hire you. We have to work with experts to be able to make things happen so we can see beyond what we just are able to see ourselves. Mm-hmm. So we worked with our business coach. We made a whole plan for Courtney and I to really be able to divide and conquer. We knew at that point in time, like in the middle, this is like, May, June, July, 2020, right? Wow. We knew at that point we had a plan to ultimately sell our agency. At that point, we had been in conversations and we knew we wanted to build out Entreprenista. So we built a whole plan. And Courtney stayed focused on growing the agency. I started building out the bones of what Entreprenista would be as a media company and membership community. We divided and conquered. Obviously, we were still 50-50 business partners, came together, as we needed to get things done, but we had our focuses. And that's how we were able to actually execute and then ultimately sell the agency. And then Courtney was able to come over and start working full time in the business about a year ago. So that's how we did it.
Oh my gosh, that is so fun. And building out of the need, right? Because that's the best way to create anything is you already know people trust you and they're seeking that advice and building that community as a result of everything. Yeah. That's so exciting. What's behind the name choice? I don't think I've ever heard anything about how this came to be because it's such a fun name.
Yeah. So many years ago, literally going back to when we were first building our social media agency and going back to how I share, like we were always just surrounding ourselves with other women and trying to form and build community and being part of communities. We decided, we wanted to create our own like networking group. And we actually called it back then Startups and Stilettos, which now is the name of our member podcast. And then it just like hit us with the name Entreprenista. We were like, what's a name for like a woman entrepreneur? Instead of an entrepreneur, we were just like, oh, Entreprenista. It was like part of a brainstorm. I think it was Courtney's idea at that point. And then we wrote a book in the early days of building our agency because so many women were coming to us needing help with their social media strategies. Our book was called Like, Love, Follow, The Entreprenista's Guide to Using Social Media to Grow Your Business. So we've been using the name since, like 2012, 2013, wow. Early days. So then when it was time, when we decided to create our podcast, we were just like Entreprenista. That's it. Yeah.
Oh, that is so fun. I love the evolution.
Yes.
Love it. And the creativity too, because it's you can understand it and connect with like mamapreneur and all the different things that we've
yes.
seen different names come about, but it's unique in its own way too. So very clever. I love it. Well, early on you were talking about challenges. I'd love to hear some of the challenges in beginning the community or even some of the challenges that come about as you start growing, because it's always helpful as entrepreneurs to hear that it's not always rainbows and butterflies.
It is definitely not all rainbows and butterflies, no matter what type of business any of us are building, right? It's hard. Yeah. And every stage of business, there come more challenges. I mean, I think the beautiful thing about business right now is that we're in the age of AI. You can do things faster, easier. You can get information faster. There's so many more tools and solutions that are out there than there even were back when we were even first starting the community. And of course, back when we were first starting our first business. So you have that advantage now of all of these tools to be able to help you. The hard challenge is, what tool and solution do you use? And you could, start spending a lot of money on all these things that you might not actually need. So for us, as we were first building the Entreprenista League and the community part as the business, we had built a business before. We built a 7-figure agency, but I had never built a community as a business before. I knew I had a vision for what the community needed to be. And like I mentioned before, I wanted this to be the place and space where women founders could come and connect with women like them, connect with like-minded women who genuinely care about supporting each other and helping each other and want to collaborate together and aren't just like in it for themselves. They're in it to collaborate and help each other because there's so much opportunity together. So creating that ethos of the community, like it came from me and Courtney. That's just how we are as people. So I think we like to attract the same type of people that are like us and willing to share. But the back end of building a community and a community-based business, it wasn't easy for me, but I hired, like I talked about before, I hired a coach to help teach me what I didn't know. So even someone like me who people might picture like, oh, Stephanie's got it all figured out. Like she's built this huge community reaching millions of people every month. We're still hiring experts all of the time to teach us what we don't know. So challenges from figuring out, what software to use, what community platform tool to use. How do you evaluate those platforms? And then once you decide on it, how do you have all of the backend technology connect to the next thing and talk to each other? It's complicated. And my advice there is work with experts who have done this before, who can teach you, because even though even in the early days we were working with experts to be able to help us, I didn't make all of the right decisions. I didn't make all the right decisions about, pricing or how to price. We were testing different things. So my best advice is it's not easy. Work with experts to help you. And we have lots of those women in the community that can.
Yes, absolutely. Well, thank you for sharing that. Because sometimes we have the idea that we need to say we have it all figured out. Otherwise people won't hire us or whatever misconception of the day that we're living through. And it couldn't be farther from the truth. We need a community like what you said, but also mentors and people that have already gone before us. And it's an ever evolving thing. Yes. I feel like even like you're saying with AI, there are new tools, which is great. But then there's also the problem of, do I need this? How can I work this in? Things change fast. Yes. So we need support and we need that outsider's perspective as well. All of us do. I love that. So you talked about being a mom, and that is an important detail for entrepreneurs out there, with me being a mom as well. I'd love to hear your take on the whole balance. And, as you're building, you had this business and then you started Entreprenista, which was it around the same time that you had your daughter? Hey, let me ask you a question. Would you like to be my next guest on the Empowered Woman podcast? Do you have a story you'd like to share? Want more visibility for your business on a show ranked in the top 0.5% in the world? Well, then head on over to martasburke.com/podcast guest for more information.
My daughter in 2019, okay. And I went through a very complicated journey with infertility, and then an even more complicated pregnancy journey. And I spent 17 weeks on bed rest and 11 of those weeks working from the hospital. I was inpatient at Columbia Presbyterian in New York before we moved down here, and was working from my computer in the hospital at the time. And the beauty of being an entrepreneur and working for yourself is that, you don't have to report to anyone, right? I don't have to go to a boss and be like, can I, work from here or take the day off? Like, it's up to me. But of course I have a business partner. So Courtney had to really hold down the fort. We had an in-person office at that time in New York City. And it's really just been about work-life integration, with going through my complicated pregnancy and fertility journey to then having my daughter. Then, of course, the pandemic happened. And then, Courtney reimagining both businesses. It's all just been this evolution and being okay with just figuring things out. And that's like motherhood and running a business, and just being okay with not having all of the answers. I think what's really been so helpful to me is I've always just shared and asked for support. And my husband actually ended up after he had my daughter leaving his job, and he's been, primary daytime parent with Molly and taking her to and from school. And in the early days of, after everything happened with COVID, he was able to be home with her while I was working. So I've had that support, and I've had that support system, which is very helpful because it's a lot to try to raise a family, build a business, and you just have to, you don't do it on a 9-to-5 schedule.
Right. Absolutely. When that's the perk of it as well, is that we have more of the flexibility, and then trying to find the elusive balance between all of the things. Now, let's talk specifically about the community for those that are not familiar, because we're talking here as everybody knows it as well, which I have to say, so I follow this she's not a personal trainer. She's like a trainer, I don't know, fitness expert, whatever. And she shared one of Entreprenista's quotes the other day, and she's got 1 million followers. I was like, dang it, Entreprenista's getting out there.
Oh my gosh, I don't even know who that was. I'll have to
it's Autumn Calabrese. Are you familiar? She used to be with Beachbody.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, I'll have to check that out.
She shared it in her stories, and I was like, dang it, Entreprenista is reaching all the high people out there. So that's super exciting. But tell us, for the people that are not familiar, because we're singing the praises here. How does it work? What can people expect? How should they, begin their journey and checking it all out? Walk us through it all.
Yeah. So Entreprenista is an annual membership. So you join the community and you get in as an official member, and then you get access to our virtual community platform where you can start building relationships and networking and sharing inside the community platform, which is very organized. And then we do lots of virtual learning and networking events as well. And then in different cities, we have members that host meetups in person too. And then many of our members are looking for even more visibility opportunities. So we are always sharing additional opportunities to get your business and build your personal brand and get really visible. We have a PR room inside the community platform where we're sharing opportunities, but lots of our members who are writers and contributors for other outlets and platforms are sharing those opportunities as well. So everyone's inside. Like the biggest thing is that everyone's there to support each other. So instead of, going to Google, if you have a business question or you need a resource, you literally just post inside the community platform and you've done it. Like our members are so responsive. People get back to you literally right away. And the key is that everyone's like us, right? Everyone wants to support. Everyone wants to build their business. You're around people essentially 24/7 who want to grow together. And that's really the ethos of the community. We do have every month virtual info sessions where you can come and learn more about what it actually looks like to get inside the community platform. A few times a year, we'll offer an experience week where you can come to a couple of events throughout the week to experience it. But something that we always have available now, and this is going back to talking about building the business and learning, we built out a whole membership success team. So that way our members have a team of people that they can always go talk to learn about additional opportunities in Entreprenista or how to get the most value from membership. And then women who are not yet members can schedule at any time a one-on-one call with our team to get a personal walkthrough of the community platform and what they can get access to as a member. So we could definitely share those links with your listeners as well.
Yes, I would love that. So would you say that the best way is to attend an info session or schedule to learn more about the community, that is, or to schedule a one-on-one?
Yep. It depends on whatever works best for you and your schedule. If you like to learn in a group or if you want a one-on-one personal call with the team, I can share both of those registration links and whatever is most helpful based on everyone's schedules. Because our info sessions are only usually twice a month at one time that you have to be there live. But a one-on-one call, you can really book with our team at any point that's convenient for you.
I love that. And like to your point of it being organized, the community is super organized, and this whole experience of the membership and being able to reach out and ask questions. If you're feeling lost, even before you join or while you're in there, there's always somebody that you can refer to. But the community itself is super helpful, like you said. It's like a glorified Google.
Yes, it's better than Google because you're getting, vetted responses from entrepreneurs who've been where you are or have used different business tools or solutions or service providers. So you're getting actual information from founders who are just like you or might be farther along than you. And then when someone asks you a question in the future, you can pay it forward and answer other people's questions too.
That is very true. I love that. Now, what is next for Entreprenista? You've grown so much. You have this team. I know Founders Weekend is coming up if you want to talk about that, but
yes.
What are your future plans too?
Oh my goodness. We have so much in store. And as founders, we want to do everything yesterday, but building a business, you can't do everything at once. So right now we're very focused, of course, on our core membership community. We also have launched in the past year our Entreprenista Approved program and our expert council for our members that really want to be positioning themselves as thought leaders and getting even more visibility and writing content on entreprenista.com. And there's a private networking group that is part of those programs as well, which has been so successful for many of our members who are part of that program, really being able to get lots of additional amplification for their business and grow their brands even faster. And then, as you mentioned, we have our Founders Weekend retreat. It is coming up April 30th to May 3rd of this year. It's going to be at the PGA National Resort. We're going to have probably close to 300 of our members there for a full weekend of building relationships and learning together and collaborating. And it's going to be the most beautiful experience. So definitely come if you have not reserved your ticket. It is for members only. So you do need to join the community first if you're not a member, and then can get your ticket to come join us. So in the future, we just see Entreprenista really continuing to grow, and we're working on plans to build out opportunities city by city to do bigger events and opportunities more regularly in major cities as well. But it's all being worked on the back end. I can't share all the details yet because I don't have all the details, but more to come soon.
Okay. Oh, that's so exciting. It's all such fun things happening. I'm looking into hosting a local one as well. That'll be a lot of fun. Cool. Well, before I have you share how people can connect with you personally and also with Entreprenista on social media, I like asking all my guests my $1 million question. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Stephanie, what is an empowered woman to you?
An empowered woman is someone who is ambitious and genuinely cares about supporting other women and giving back to celebrate and be there for the future generation of women founders.
I love it. I always say that whenever I ask this question, women describe themselves. So you just described yourself. So good. Well, thank you so much for everything that you've built, for all the hard work and that you continue to do, and for sharing with us. How can people connect with you personally and also learn more about Entreprenista?
Well, thank you so much for having me. You can follow Entreprenista everywhere, and not just follow and send a DM so we can personally connect with you, because everything is about connecting and building relationships. So on Instagram, Entreprenista is at Entreprenista with an S at the end. So Entreprenistas on Instagram. We're at Entreprenista on LinkedIn. You can connect with me personally. I'm Steph Jill Cartin, Cartin on Instagram, Stephanie Cartin on LinkedIn. Send me a DM. And then to join the community, can we link out to everything in the show notes? Can everyone grab the links there? So link out to everything in the show notes, but entreprenista.com/join to get over to the membership page to join the community. And we can share the separate links to schedule a call with our team or to come to an info session too.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for sharing with us. It's so fun to hear more of the backstory. I learn a little something new every time.
I love it. Thank you again, Marta.
Thanks so much for tuning in today. I hope this episode empowered you. And if you enjoyed the show, please join the Empowered Woman community on Facebook and share with friends or leave a review on iTunes so more people can discover this empowering message. Until next time, bye.